Good morning, Modern Steaders.
Good morning. Cold.
It's the coldest morning on the homestead so far. 36 degrees out this morning. Yep, Burr is right. And I don't know about you, but I am sore this morning. That concrete yesterday kicked my butt.
A little sore, a little tired.
Right?
Just fresh air will wake us up.
Yes. It's going to be nice to get up to the off-grid property, get all the forms off the concrete today, and see how the pour came out. Moose, everybody wants to know how come you eat over here. Him and the other rooster do not get along. So Moose gets his own pile of food.
Good morning. Good morning. You coming? Come on, girl. Get cold.
You boys ready for breakfast? Look at that beautiful sunrise. Little man says, just feed me. I want some breakfast. There you go. Camo. I want to thank ButcherBox for sponsoring today's video. We've been using ButcherBox for about a year now to source our meats from, and they always have great, delicious meats. We've never been disappointed. And right now, ButcherBox is offering, oh, look at this. All new members who sign up receive one free-range turkey in their first ButcherBox. This thing is between 10 to 14 pounds. It's all natural, all vegetarian diet, no preservatives, raised without antibiotics, and it's completely traceable back to the farm. Man, I love ButcherBox. We've never been disappointed by any of their meats. Like I said, we've been using them for about a year now. We get their grass-fed beef all the time. We get their wild-caught fish, and it is delicious. We're always cooking it up here, and it's just been amazing of how good it is, and it's good for us and for the planet, so we feel good about eating their meat. ButcherBox is an online monthly meat subscription delivered right to your door. And one of the great things about it is there's no contracts. You can sign up, you can get your meat delivered 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. You can change it whenever you want. You can cancel it anytime with no penalties. We've put ours on hold before when we've had too much meat in the freezer. It doesn't happen too often, but it has. So we put our subscription on hold, and then when we're ready to start receiving it again, we go back in online. It saves everything for us. And then we just tweak to see what we want, get it shipped, and then it's here within a couple of days. It's great. They're always offering different options, which is nice. You can go on their website, see what they have, update it, change it, add, subtract, whatever you want. I want to thank ButcherBox for sponsoring today's video. If you guys aren't signed up and you want a free-range turkey for Thanksgiving, click our link in the video description down below, and it's going to take you to ButcherBox. Sign up, get that delicious meat, and enjoy your Thanksgiving. I want to thank ButcherBox for sponsoring today's video again. Click the link in the video description down below to try out some delicious meat. Now, let's get on with the build. Yesterday we poured the concrete for the apron in front of the tiny house and for an addition on the tiny house already. When we poured the concrete for the tiny house slab, I poured that with Ken from Ken's Carpentry. We're going to be collabing with Ken to frame up the tiny house. And we poured that concrete slab. It was a cold day and we didn't put any accelerator in the concrete and it took forever to dry. So yesterday was even colder than that. So I had them add 1% accelerant to the concrete, thinking that would save our butt so we weren't here all night long waiting for it to cure. That being said, I know two things now after working with an accelerant in the concrete. It goes from wet to not workable like that. So we started working with it yesterday. Right after it got poured, we screeded it as we were pouring it, and then we screeded it again right after the concrete truck left. And then we started working it some more. I bull floated it, and then I started doing the edges on the front of the apron. I put a bull nose edge on it, and it was still soupy. We stopped and ate lunch. We didn't even stop for 15 minutes, maybe 15 minutes. Just enough to eat our sandwiches. Came back out here, and it was starting to set. And I was trying to hand trowel because I was like, oh, this is a small area. I don't need to rent a power trowel. I can hand trowel this, no big deal. Yeah. If you're gonna use accelerant, make sure you have a power trowel. It came out nice, but it would have came out even nicer if I had a chance to work it with a trowel or a power trowel. So now I know, so when we go to do other concrete work here in the homestead, I'm gonna rent a power trowel and make sure we have one, because I can feel it in my shoulders and I didn't get to work it as nice as I wanted to. It looks really good. The front we were able to get a brum finish on like we wanted. The other slab, I'll show that to you in a little bit. It's not perfect, but we're gonna epoxy it anyway, so it's gonna look fine once it's all said and done. But I'm very fussy with my work. When I have things I want done a certain way, if they don't go that way, I don't like it. That being said, I ended up having them drop me off some gravel to spread because the day with Ken, we had a lot of waiting time in between to work the concrete. We worked it like 4 to 6 times, and every time we had at least an hour in between for letting it to set up a little bit more so we could work it again. This time I didn't have that. So all that gravel that we got, 5 minus, I never got a chance to spread yesterday. So I'm gonna spread that right now. The reason we got that is I wanna extend out in front of the new addition that we did, out in front a little bit and over to the side. So if we wanna drive up with a piece of equipment, we have a nice taper on the side, and that way in the front, it's extended a little bit more, because I don't wanna just kinda like walk out of the tiny house and fall off an edge. Ready?
Yep.
First board coming off. Yeah, the edge came out really nice. I like that. That looks good. I'll leave that in for now. Got it.
Oh no, it cracked.
Ah. Cracked me the concrete. Son of a
There was a
biscuit.
screw right there.
Yep, that was to hold the rebar, the cattle panel in place, because it kept popping up in that corner. So I had to hold it down. Bummer.
That's what happened.
Yeah. Just keep an eye.
Anything's starting to happen.
Anything's starting to, whatever, let me know. Alright, watch out.
Did it do it?
Yep, it did the edge. So I had put in some screws in the 2x6s this way. They're about 2.5 inches long. We had a few spots that the cattle panel wanted to either stick up above the top of the 2x8s or stick down on the edge and touch the gravel, which we don't want. We wanted the cattle panel about in the middle for the best strength. So I put screws in it and you couldn't see where they were. And over here, when I pulled out the form, the screw was in it, I lifted it up and it broke it out here and on that edge over there. Luckily, the ones by the door we caught, so we didn't bust it. I gotta think of a way to fix this so it doesn't have a big broken edge. So other than that, it came out really nice. We got a nice straight edge. I like the bull nose edge we put on. It's nice and round. Now we can take out the forms around the grate. Fingers crossed those don't break because we don't want it broken by the grate. That's gonna be for the entranceway. I'm excited to see how that looks. Before I do things and after I do things, I usually lie in bed thinking about them. And I was thinking about this form. I screwed it from the outside. I was thinking if I was thinking when I built it more, I could have screwed it from the inside so that way I could have unscrewed it and then took it out piece by piece. But right now we can't do it that way. There we go. There. All right, I'm gonna give it a tap on the top of the form with the sledgehammer. Give it a little bit of a shock to help break it all free. Let me go grab a saw and we'll start cutting it into pieces. See if we can get it out better that way.
So right now it has to come out as one square?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right now it'll come out one piece. I should have screwed it this way. And then I could have unscrewed the edge pieces from the inner square. But then the inner square, there was no other way to screw it but from the outside corners. Moment of truth.
Looks good, right?
Yeah. Now we just gotta set the grate in and see how we did. I like it.
Is it perfect? It looks so good.
Get all the mud, snow, and whatever is on your feet, off your feet, and then walk into the house. That's gonna be nice. Put like a welcome mat right in there. I can cover with everything. I like it.
It sits so good, it doesn't even make any noise besides the metal.
Right.
It's not shaky.
Nope. It doesn't stick up on the
Pop
edges.
up on one side or the other. Like in here,
Right.
you can see it here. Yeah, there's no...
This is the biggest reason I built the apron. I had the idea of putting this grate in. I actually would love to have one at our house now. I've always thought by the basement door, this would keep it a little bit neater. So we built the slab here, and then I got to thinking, man, it'd be nice to have a grate to keep all of our mud and dirt outside of the house before we go in.
I'm game for that.
So I was like, we gotta do the apron. And then the apron spawned the addition. So it's kind of like one thing led to another. And now it's gonna be awesome. So I was really concerned about this because if this didn't turn out the way I had planned in my head, I was gonna be really disappointed because it's one of those things you can't just take it out and start over easily. It would have been, yeah, a nightmare. Now I want to take the box scraper on the 𝑇YM tractor and grade right in front of our apron and get it nice and smooth so that way we're not tripping over anything. It's going to be down lower than the apron, but at least that way it'll be a nice transition from all of the driveway. And then later on we'll have to top dress it with a different kind of gravel. I don't know if we want to do like a ledge pack that's blue and it'll look pretty and it'll pack down a little bit smoother, almost like concrete, so it'll keep you tracking in less stuff in the house. That's something we have to figure out. out of gasoline, so we'll leave it there. We only have one pass finished. I only need to make one more pass to finish this area, and then I got to get the rest of the driveway at some point. But I want to get right here in front of the tiny house done. We got a nice taper, so when it rains, everything is going to run away from the tiny house, keep that all nice and dry. And the same over here. Keep all the water going that way. I am so happy with the way the apron and the addition came out on the tiny house. It's gonna make it so much better. I am so pumped with how good the grate came out. This is just an idea I've always had in my head to do, and this is was the perfect opportunity to try it. And it came out perfectly. So now we know we can do this to any of the buildings we build here at the homestead. We just got to have a concrete apron, and it comes out nicely. Man, I can't wait till we start framing up the tiny house. That's gonna be soon. We have a few more projects to do while we wait for Ken, but it is coming along nicely. I was just thinking, we've only had this property for a little over a year, and what it looked like then, and all the thoughts and ideas we had in our head, but we didn't know what we were going to be doing. So just to see how everything has changed in about 12 months is just amazing. We couldn't do it without your support. Thank you.
I'm gonna make some homemade chili tonight, so I decided to whip up a quick cornbread. A little bit of oil. I'm gonna do some bacon ends, but I just wanna do a little bit so it doesn't stick when it first starts cooking. We don't like our chili spicy. We are, I guess, spicy enough without having spicy foods. So just basically, maybe it's more of a sweeter chili. So I have bacon ends that I have chopped up. I'm gonna just cook these up. I got the bacon ends starting to cook. I'm gonna go ahead and I have some diced onions and some carrots, and I wanna make sure that my carrots get tender, because you don't want a crunchy carrot in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw that in there now as well. Normally I take the bacon ends out. I'm just gonna go ahead and just leave them in there. So I have fresh tomatoes going in here. Our corn did not do good at all, so I have frozen corn. And some beans, black beans I'm gonna put in. A little less than a tablespoon of cumin and chili powder. Like I said, we're not spicy, but just for some flavor. So some chili powder. Oh, geez. And some paprika. With the big jar of paprika because, well, I use it for everything.
Dear Lord, thank you for a wonderful day. I want to thank ButcherBox for sponsoring today's video. If you guys want to try ButcherBox, click our link in the video description down below and you can get yourself a free turkey with your first purchase. Thanks for coming along on our homesteading journey. If you guys have any tips or tricks of how to fix those couple of little concrete areas that I broke, yeah, I didn't like it either, leave it in the comments down below. But I'm glad we got this done. I got all the forms off, the grate fit nice. It's time for the next step. Thanks for coming along on our homesteading journey. You guys are a huge blessing to us in our homestead. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, share it, it really helps. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and even if you are subscribed, go and check and make sure YouTube hasn't unsubscribed you. I know, it's crazy, but YouTube likes to unsubscribe a lot of people. I don't know why, I wish I did. So if you can, go check, see if you're subscribed or unsubscribed. When you're down there, hover over the little bell or click on the bell and you can turn on all notifications and that'll send you different push notifications of when we upload videos. So thanks for doing that and we'll see you guys right back here in the next video. Bye.